Hey squad, before we get into today's episode, I want to give a quick shout out to the RMR Training app. Yes. So the RMR Training app has our brand new 12-week training program. This is our flagship program that we point a lot of our athletes who come into the RMR Training app toward. It's going to be progressive. It's one of our peak and perform plans that will have a progression and will lead you in to your next HYROX event. Each year, we take what we've learned in the past, we keep what did work, and we get rid of the things that we think didn't work, or we iterate on it so that it works better. And this year, we're really excited because it's in our brand new platform for the app that also includes the RMR community. The community has a robust number of athletes already in there who are training specifically for HYROX. So there's a ton of support. All the coaches here at RMR Training are in there answering questions, making sure that people know exactly what they need to do to improve their HYROX. You can get all of this, the brand new program, for 12 weeks, and we have nearly a dozen other programs, all for one price. It's just $39.95 a month. We're real excited about this new 12-week program, as now we have things like it's a better user experience being in on the community. We have long-form video guidance within the actual app itself. We have native HYROX leaderboards that we've built from scratch. Most of the leaderboards now don't really cross over very well for HYROX. This one we built so it makes perfect sense for HYROX, and a lot more cool features in the 12-week program and the app. You can check it out with the link down in the show notes. Let's get to the episode. All right. Hello. Welcome to the RMR Training Podcast. My name is Rich Ryan. Full squad. Today we got MJ on the East Coast, Ryan Kent down south, me out here in the mountains. We're all over the place, but it's good to all be together virtually. Meg, how are things? How you feeling?
Good. Feeling good. I am excited for my first race of the season. This is the real comeback season, guys. I thought it was last year, but this is it's Rocky 2 now. You know,
Comeback
that's
from the
what
comeback.
we're doing. Yeah. So 8 weeks out from my first solo.
Where is that again?
Also in Germany. Stuttgart. I'm just rolling over in Germany. Yeah, on Halloween is the women's pro, and
do they do Halloween over there? Or I can't. That's too silly of a holiday.
They don't really do that.
That's way too silly of a holiday for.
We take holidays to an extreme here.
Time out.
Halloween's fun.
It's wild.
Wait. Halloween is not like a worldwide celebrated holiday.
I don't think so.
But like people know what it is, but they just don't do it like the way we do. Like sometimes kids wear costume or whatever, but not like here.
I don't even know what the origin is. I think it's like there's like Day of the Dead in Mexico, which is a day to remember those that we've lost. Says here a Celtic festival. My 1 second of research, but like All Saints Day, All Souls Day. Yeah. I think it's steeped in religion, like everything. And then we're just like, how about candy? What if we get candy instead? And we're like, nice.
Yeah. So I'm racing mixed doubles in Hamburg. So on Thursday, which works great because then I'll be there for all the elite races and support my bros.
Let's hang out.
And then I have a month until I race solo.
It's coming.
It is coming.
I realized that Boston is actually 1 week earlier than I thought. So now I have one less week of preparation than I initially thought.
Dang, time travel.
Honestly, I was like looking at it and I was like, something doesn't add up.
It's like right now. Boston's like,
I know.
Now. Like you have like only 2 weeks of training, right? It's like in 3 weeks.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so I have to take something out. More than one thing out. Like a whole week of training has to be eliminated. Yeah. I'm not going to try to squeeze it in.
No.
So that's been fun.
Yeah.
Like how in the world did it? Because we all do this. We reverse engineer, right? We start from the race day and then work kind of backwards. Somehow I messed up the dates. Don't know how I did it. Not stoked. Might not get in my 5 or 6 by mile with 60 seconds rest.
Dang. I think you'll be good.
I'll be
You'll
good.
be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, because that is coming. I was looking at that same thing. Just kind of a bunch of athletes, a small group are going to be up in Boston. So I was looking at it, I was like, wow, this is like right now. Yeah, and Hamburg was a month from the 3rd for me anyway. What day is doubles? Is that Saturday or Thursday?
I think it's Saturday.
It's Saturday?
Saturday.
Because if your solo race is Friday, like it's like the whole elite field half at least.
They should probably do it after. Most.
Yeah, it would
unless
only make sense in my opinion.
Unless they really just want to differentiate it. Be like, all right, we're just going to put the doubles in front.
I don't think that's a good idea.
They got to get people to pay this license. They got to get more people into these Elite 15 races.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny.
All right, we can.
Is Plyo racing? You guys gonna run?
Not this time. No. He's targeting. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but he's targeting Melbourne for his opener, and then so if we're doing Melbourne, and then if we so crazy. So Phoenix would be a place where we're gonna do. I'm gonna do doubles on Sunday with Dylan to get a potential time just in case, like a contingency time. So I'm hanging out. I realized, just real quick, we're going to do a Q&A episode. We got some awesome questions. It's going to be really good, really fun. Lots of information coming your way. But before, I realized I'm going to be in Germany for Oktoberfest. I was like, let me see if I can find something here in early October to try to go get like a Stein, But
did you?
They have something in Hamburg, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. It's just there's something on Sunday, but I race on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I would like to check it out.
Just go after the race.
Is it like a nighttime thing? Have you been, Meg?
No, I'm assuming because
I think they just rock it during the day, man. I think there's no time to waste.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's not my jam, but it'd be a sweet experience. It's funny because I have clients and family and all these people I know racing Berlin Marathon too, which is the week before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's right around then. So that was kind of crazy timing.
Well, it's a fast one.
Yes, it is. It is a fast one.
All right, let's get into some Q&A. Thank you for all of the questions that came in. This is mostly from Meg's Instagram. We did also ask the members of the RMR app. There's a ton of good questions there. We're going to do something a little bit separate because we just can't address all of them that came through. We want to make sure that we are giving the app members their time to answer all them questions. So the first question is not super training related, but if you were a child growing up today, what would you want to be when you grow up as a professional? Megs, you start.
Wait, not when we were. How is it worded?
It just says, it did say, what did you want to be? Let's do both. Do both.
Okay. So
I think it's
this is a little bit funny because I'm only 5'7", but I used to want to be in the WNBA.
Of course.
I mean, I thought I was going to be a Division I basketball player when I was in 3rd grade. I wore basketball shorts to school. I was a tomboy, big tomboy, which is probably from the personality, maybe understandable, but from the girly aspect of who I am, I'm the hair, the lashes, the nails, a little surprising maybe. I used to wear only basketball clothes to school. I lived that life until probably middle school when I realized running was more my calling. And I realized I wasn't going to be that tall. So WNBA for me. And then I think probably just change to being a pro runner at some point once I realized I loved running so much. In middle school. Which is also not happening. So
I'm making a rule. We can't say athlete.
That's it. That's been my life. I don't have I literally
I'm going to second that
profession. I don't remember being I want to be a doctor. I never said that.
Not once.
I really didn't.
But there was a point. Okay. So then when was there a point where it's all right, I'm not going to the WNBA?
Like I said, in middle school, and then I think I was I'm going to be a pro runner instead.
There had to be a point where that didn't happen either. Kent, what are you thinking? table tennis?
No. It would have been legit full court tennis.
Legit.
Not table tennis.
I popped on the Open. I've been watching a little bit. You'd be proud.
Got some good matchups today, dude. Novak versus Carlos.
Today? All right, I'll check it out.
There's a lot of drama in tennis these days. A lot of there's always
hurt feelings.
I feel like I could throw down in tennis because
it's weird because
it's to play. I've got insults. I could definitely.
Well, it's on the court. It's very much like a gentleman's sport. Everyone, there's you don't really talk, and you can't, say bad words and things like that. And then sometimes these athletes get off the court in interviews, whatever. They let it come out. The stuff they've been holding in, on the court, ends up hurting someone's feelings or whatever. Tennis players are a little bit sensitive. I'm just gonna say.
I like the sport. What it is very impressive. It's very cool. I don't like the whole country club of it all. I just can't get behind that. I'm looking at these. I'm this is all kind of a little corny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the
I love
sport's
a
cool.
little Wimbledon whites. I think I could rock that life.
You just like the fashion of it all.
Yeah.
100%.
Then it's that way. Ken, so you're saying athlete too?
Yeah,
We're all just gonna say athlete.
No. I honestly So my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad owned a construction business growing up. So I didn't grow up in a family of lawyers or doctors or even my dad didn't go to college. My mom didn't go to college. So it was I really, all I knew was being an athlete, and the only profession that, other than being a pro athlete that kind of, I could see myself enjoying was honestly a PE teacher. So
yeah, for sure.
I was I'm going to go to school and I'm going to get a degree in health and physical education, and I'm going to be a PE teacher. And then that kind of evolved into, I wanted to be a collegiate, cross country coach.
Mm-hmm.
That was my ultimate goal, was to coach at the college level at Oregon, some big, university with tons of history. That would be my dream job.
I just realized after you said lawyer, that's what I wanted to do once I got to high school and realized that this is all right. I need a career. I wanted to be a lawyer. And I totally forgot about that. I originally studied political science in English in college.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is your degree in? Is that what it is?
Yes.
It is. That's what you're
doing.
Yeah.
But then
the next schooling came.
But then I realized I hate school. So I was I don't like school. So this isn't going to pan out for me.
For sure.
And I really hate taking tests.
School sucks.
So.
Yeah, same. And that, the lawyer route, reading for me is I didn't do well in school because I don't read very well. And then that is basically all it is. Right.
Yeah.
I could imagine poli-sci with English.
I'm just good at arguing with people. So I wanted to be yo, fuck that. That's a lie.
Let me get
got
paid
the
for this.
receipts.
Yeah, I remember, I think it just in elementary school when I was real little, saying I wanted to be a scientist, no specific range or whatever, but I was scientist is what I want to be. But then I was probably until 8th, 9th grade, I was I'm going to be a professional athlete as well. And then after that, I was I don't know. I have to get a job. I'm going to have to do this. Yeah. And then turns out I didn't have to. Nice. All right. Well, what if you were growing up today? Knowing what you know now a little bit, and if you go back, can't say athlete, can't do it. Can't be I'm gonna wait until a niche sport arrives, and I'm gonna just go all in on that. And
I'd probably want to be a coach of some sort. Whether it be strength or in some capacity, I don't know if it would be running per se, because I did do that for a while at the varsity level, but probably just strength coach, something like that.
Yeah, I think after what I know now about that lifestyle is kind of tough to do the college route thing. If we really wanted to be hey, I'm just gonna do everything I can to do this, it's start at D3, bounce around, start as assistant, move wherever you go, get paid nothing, have it be a post grad, then always up and moving until you can kind of find that spot. It's just like a hustle. I think it'd be really hard. I think it'd be really hard.
I mean, I think even when we look at even just college coaches, like actual coaches too, same thing. It's like you're starting at small, tiny D3 school. You're paying your dues there for several years, and you're bouncing around a lot. And I mean, even when I was competing and I watched my coach, like she was only there like 4 years, then went to a different college, was there for 2 years, and went to a different school, was there for 2 years. And like moving your family around, like she had a young kids. That's not great, I don't think.
I agree. That'd be really hard, and you would not get paid a lot. You'd have to be like in on it. Yeah.
Is it super cheesy to be like, I'd be an influencer?
I was just gonna say, would you be an influencer?
So cheesy? I probably would.
I mean, it's definitely a viable option for people, right? Being like, I want to be a solo content creator or whatever. Like, is something that like is pursuable now.
I know, which is crazy. I mean, even in like any realm too, I think that's like the kind of cool, wild part about it is like there are physical therapists that are like content creators for physical therapy or like just for anything. Like there is someone influencing for that topic or whatever it is, which is kind of crazy.
Kent, growing up today, what would you go back and tell your young self? Can't be athlete.
No, yeah, it would probably be one of three things. It would either be something to do with tourism where I could like travel around. I don't know exactly what that would look like.
A guide? You'd guide
maybe a tour guide
folks.
Yeah.
I could see you being like you kind of did this, right? Like a ski instructor or like a surf instructor. I could see you just being out in Costa Rica.
I was a hiking guide in California. Yeah. So either that, I've also had like a fascination with like fossils. So maybe like archaeology or something.
I like this. I like this a lot.
I cannot imagine him just being like,
dude, I would find all you got to do is give me a little tool, give me a tool and a little magnifying glass, and I'm going to find whatever it is you need to find. Like digging through tunnels and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, it'd be amazing. And then the last one would be like a musician, performer.
That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm it's I'm trying to think on my end. Maybe like a baker, I think is the route 100%. I would go.
You better own a bread shop.
Be making that bread. Yeah. But that's what I think. Yeah. Like learning more about like how to do business at a younger age, right? Just like kind of trying to find routes that way instead of just like stumbling around for so long. I guess that doesn't really. I guess that's the same thing as now. But yeah, in baking specifically, I would make the world's best croissant.
I like it.
Nice. All right. Question number 2. What do you tell yourself as the race is about to start? So is there any type of personal mantra? Is there anything that you kind of recite to yourself that helps you get into the zone? Where do you do, what do you do like right before a race? Like, how do you get like locked in? Meg, you start.
Oh, okay. I actually did respond to this one in my story, and I say, fuck shit up, bitch. And that's pretty much how I talk to myself.
Say 5 words. All of them swears.
Yeah, all of them swears. I mean, I think as we know, and we've talked about this in a variety of different podcasts over the years, but like, I think the confidence comes from the preparation. And so for me, like when I'm like in the zone and it's game time, I'm just reminding myself, like, you can win this. You will win this. And I say that a lot to myself because it's not that I don't think that I can lose. It's just that I believe in my prep so much that I know I believe I have the opportunity to win every time I line up. And I think that's something that, you know, especially when you're standing on the line with a lot of women that are also incredible or men that are incredible athletes, that can also get in people's heads a little bit. And for me, I'm really good at blocking out that noise and just focusing 100 on myself and just like run my race. I can win this. And just kind of not letting my mind wander from that kind of mindset. Like, and even if it's not going great, it's like, it's not over till it's over. Stay the fucking course. Like keep going. Like those are kind of the things that I keep like repeating to myself. But I am a very confident athlete. And when I do the work, I do it I don't miss anything. I don't skip anything. I don't shift things. Like I'm really good at staying super diligent in my plan. So when I come into a race, that builds that confidence where I can be like, I feel very confident that I can take the win here, if that makes sense.
So kind of keeping things positive.
Yeah.
Just anything
and
that's
just
like
keeping that self-belief, positive self-belief, self-talk. And of course, like I said, I'm a little aggressive. So like the way it comes out for me might not be the way that you say it to yourself. Yeah. But I think this is not the time to falter on, what you've done. This is not the time to start saying, did I do enough? It's over. You're already here. You're on the start line. So that is definitely not going to help at all. Anything. So like, just reminding yourself, like I did everything I could do and I'm ready. And just saying that I'm ready. I'm prepared for this. I think that's kind of the way that I think when I'm in the tunnel there. And I like to I used to be real serious, like super serious when like as a collegiate athlete, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want anyone bothering me. And I'm so opposite now where I've really learned how to turn that switch on, like the blink, like flipping a light switch. I like to keep it light. I like to be like happy, smiling, being my normal self. And then when that 10-second timer starts down, like you can even see it. There's videos of it. Like my whole facial expression changes and I go from smiling, like, let's go to like, I'm going to rock this shit. And like, it's a very clear kind of change. And that's like kind of the way I do it in my brain too, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like the self-belief part is important, right? Like if you don't believe that you can do it, like it's just not going to happen.
No, 100. Right. It's already over if you don't believe.
Whatever you have to tell yourself to get yourself there. Yeah, I think that's really important. Kent, where does your mind go? What are you telling yourself?
I feel like it's a combination of like no thoughts at all and then all the thoughts in the world at the same time. Like I don't really know how to explain it. Yeah, there's just times where like I have no thoughts in my brain and then other times I'm thinking about all the preparation that I did. I'm thinking about all the people who have doubted me. And then like a split second later, like there's nothing going on upstairs. Like it's this weird thing that happens. But I think for me, I'm kind of with Meg. Like I lean in on the preparation at the start line. I like thinking back to maybe one of my more challenging workouts that I got through, or one that I'm like super proud of. And I kind of let my brain sit on that for a little bit. And then, which obviously gives me the confidence that I'm ready to go. And then, what was the other thing I was going to say?
You just had it happen now. You had a bunch of thoughts, no thoughts.
I know. There we go.
How
you step in. I'll see if I can remember what the other one was.
I will. So a lot of times I gain confidence and calm just through like the plan. Like I have a plan for the race, right? And that is something that I'll just make sure that I am remembering. Just so oftentimes
that was mine.
Visualizing
the race.
Ugh. So yeah, like, but that's kind of where it is, right? Like making sure the execution goals, like I have it in my head. And sometimes it's just simple as like easy on the first run, hard on the first run, easy on the ski, hard on whatever it is. Like I've planned for this. So just reciting that, and that kind of gives me calm because like I know I can do at least this plan. And if I execute this way, I will feel like it kind of limits the amount of regret I feel like I have, because if I go in and just like throw the plan out, I'll be like, man, that was stupid. I screwed up, made a mistake. Sometimes the plan's not right, But if I go into it and just like reciting that, it gives me a sense of calm because it's like I'm prepared for that plan. And if I have a specific mantra, my mantra isn't necessarily always the same. I don't have like one thing. It depends on how things have been, where I'm getting like inspiration, motivation during that block. Sometimes it's really positive, sometimes it's super negative, sometimes it's like connecting to myself, to other people, whatever it is. But usually there's something different within that block that I'm using, and just kind of like keeping that around. It's not like I'm not like repeating it constantly, but just like knowing what that is so that I can call on it so it's right there when I need it. Do you guys do mantras during?
I just say stuff to myself, like I'll just repeat stuff. I think in racing, and especially if the way the race is playing out, in women's races especially, sometimes in the past, placements would kind of align early and kind of stay that way, right? So like someone would get a lead, then it'd be a space to 2, then there's a space to 3, then there's a space to the rest. And I think not every time, right? Of course now, but like, especially in the early days of racing, if you got a gap, it was probably going to be like that for a long time, especially on in the women's side, at least. And so you can get kind of stuck, you know what I mean? Where like, okay, I'm in second. I'm probably not going to be able to win. Like, so Lauren's ahead of me by 60 seconds, but I'm ahead of third by 2 minutes or something. And you can kind of get stuck like in that, it just in like being comfortable and not trying to keep pushing harder and harder. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so I'll tell myself, like, keep pushing. It's not over till it's over. Like I say those things a lot, especially if the race is kind of shaking out a certain way early or mid race, or because it's like, hey, someone can make an error. Some people can make mistakes. Like I remember when I was winning worlds, even though I had a huge gap, I was terrified of making missing a lap, making a mistake, and the whole time, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, I'm by myself, which is great. However, if I make a mistake, I can literally lose this for myself. That's scary. So just like staying the course, staying focused, knowing that until the last wall ball is done, like I'm still in this game. I'm still in the game. I'm still in the race. Like maybe somebody has a really bad station or whatever, and you can gain momentum. If you had a great station, someone else had a bad station, now you're closing the gap, and then that can change the trajectory of the race. But if you kind of let yourself get like stuck in just being fine, you know what I mean? Then maybe that doesn't happen. So
it's more like reminders to
like
stay
pressing,
focused.
keep pushing, like don't get comfortable, like just that kind of thing.
Can't mantras at all?
Not really.
No.
But I mean, I've definitely, had conversations with myself, like on race course for sure.
Oh, for sure. But not like one specific phrase.
No, like honestly, when things are going poorly, I don't really recall much. Like when things are
and it's just like
going good.
Yeah.
When things are going good, it's definitely like I'm pumping myself up. I'm like, dude, like you're doing it, dude. You're doing it. Stay on it. Stay on it.
Yeah.
Like it's happening. Like you can do this. So very positive self-talk for sure.
Yeah, I found a mantra to be pretty powerful. I don't always use it, but like if I do have like a phrase or something, it's nice to be able to come back to something to help just give that direction. It just keeps it real simple. It's just always right there. Where it's kind of sounds like you both are like using self-talk to get the effort needed, but not necessarily like a word or a line. So I've used both. I've done both, and it is powerful if it is strong enough. But I've done that too, or it's just like execute, stay positive, be on top of it, and like it doesn't change too much.
Yeah.
Kent just bounced. He was like, "I'm good." Later, I'm sure he'll be back. So okay, I'll have to repeat this question when he comes back, but always coming back. All right, came back. MJ's in the middle now. So new question. After consistency, What are the biggest base movers for beginner runners? Okay, great. So what are some what things would you, after like, okay, I'm being consistent now, like I have my schedule, I can do it 3 to 5 times per week, whatever. Now what do I do? How do I now move the needle more?
Pacing came to mind. Getting better at pacing. I think most beginners are probably going to go out too fast. Not just in training, or not just in a race, but in training as well. So learning to like run or train just a little more like in control.
I like that.
Yeah. I think understanding where you're currently at and accepting where you're currently at and not thinking, I think one of the biggest mistakes in running in general, and especially for beginners, is like they'll do a workout and they're like, I felt great during this workout, not looking at any data. I felt great. I completed it. I was faster than I thought. And then the next week they want to increase the paces automatically. That doesn't, it's great that we feel great that we had a successful workout, but trying to ramp up the pace week over week over week over week, that's not really how you get better. And it's also, especially with lactate and lactate deficiency and things like that, it takes a really long time to actually see the numbers improve. So like just accepting where you're at currently, working there, and then slowly making those small adjustments in pace or duration or whatever the variable is, that's all going to lead you to more success than trying to like every single week change this or change that or increase the speed or blah, blah, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like I work at target paces that are the same almost weekly, but different variables change, right? Maybe it's the duration of the interval. Maybe it's the rest is shorter or longer. Maybe it's the pace is slightly pulled back. It's a way longer interval with weight. Like small pieces can change, but it doesn't mean I'm running like progressively faster every single week. Does that make sense?
It does. It's and there's a question later that I think we can kind of dive into that will kind of help with this further. But it sounds like having patience and being committed to a timeline.
100%.
Like know that it's going to happen, but it's like so like kind of it's like consistency over the course of a longer period.
For sure, because I don't think that a lot of the time pace changes as quick as people want it to.
No.
And so just accepting that and just staying the course is going to lead you to way better success. And also understanding where you're at doesn't mean that's where you're finishing, right? So if we test something, that's it. It's a test. It's just to say, here's where I'm starting. And I think if you don't know your starting point, it becomes much more difficult to even be consistent towards a goal, because now we're just guessing. And I think I like concrete information because I think for me at least, and I think when I work with clients, that gives a more clear picture of this is where we are and this is how we're going to progress forward for the next 8 to 12 weeks, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. For sure. That's a great one.
I think beginners, they just don't know any better. They think by one-upping their run that they just did yesterday means that they are improving, And like the human body just doesn't work that way.
Especially with endurance, right? It's just like volume over like the course of just like a long period of time. Where like if you're doing strength and you're newer to strength, you could probably put more weight on the bar in like a deadlift for like
definitely
3 months, 6 months, right? Like you will get better almost every single session. Or if it's even something like fat loss, like you'll see this if you're hitting it, like you might see progress every single week, right? And you're like, oh, this is like happening. This is working. It's like my hard work is paying off. Endurance, it's like it's a little more subjective. Like the hard numbers take a long time to come around, and like you can get just like kind of lost in it, and you're improving like a little bit, but like you don't really see how much you've improved because like you're just like doing like marginal gains for like this long time.
Yeah.
No, like if your threshold pace, and I know beginners probably don't even know what that is, but like if your threshold pace improves by, let's just say 5 to 10 seconds over the course of a year, that is pretty damn significant.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Like
that'd be
5 to
really
10
good.
seconds
Yeah.
over a year
Yeah.
is a lot.
It
Right.
is a lot.
And it's like not necessarily linear because it does need to be kind of undulated, like whatever. Yeah, it takes time for sure.
I want to say
think-
one last. Go
ahead.
Were you going to elaborate on that?
No, I was gonna do mine, but keep rolling over on this.
I was just going to say recovery, like knowing how to recover a little bit, and knowing that like progress comes from like adapting to the work, not just always pushing yourself super hard.
Yeah.
And so, making sure
Every
you are
session
taking.
shouldn't be a 10 out of 10. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
most should be like a 7 to an 8 on even that's like your hard days should probably be around that most of the time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So kind of understanding that too. Easy days, easy, I think that's hard for people to understand is like they want to go out and do like a 5-mile run, and every week they're like trying to make it faster and faster every week. Like, oh, I was 10 seconds faster on my easy 5-mile run than 2 days ago. It's like, well, that's not really the goal of the easy run, right? It's more about recovery. It's more about just getting time, volume, those types of things. So it's like knowing what to push on and when, I think, is also important for beginners.
Sometimes people come and they're like, "Oh, I want my goal is to have my easy pace be this," and they're like, "Do you think I can do that?" It's like, you can just, it's not that fast. You can just do that, but it's not going to be easy. Like you can it's like it's not it's like you want to run faster, easier, or you want to run faster when it's like when you need to run harder. I get what they're saying, right?
Yes.
They just want to be faster in general, but
yeah.
That's
and that's
not
actually
really
a question I get all the time. I don't know about you guys, but what is my easy pace? I get asked
what feels
that
easy
almost every day.
right.
And I'm like, whatever.
I ran
feels good that
9:30.
day.
I ran 9:30 mile pace today.
Sometimes
And that was
that's
easy.
it. Like,
yeah, and that was easy.
sometimes I'm beat the heck up and I need to be running 9-minute pace and chilling, like it depends on the day. It depends on the day before. There's so much nuance to it. So sometimes it's intentionally fast to be in zone, sometimes it's really slow and more like a real true recovery run. Like these are kind of nuanced things. So
with the pacing answer that Kent mentioned, and Meg, you agree, you were nodding with that one. How can someone improve this? Like if they were like, okay, I got it down, now I need some like actionable steps to get better at pacing. Like how would you help guide someone to improve this? Because it's like, oh, you screwed up your pace to pace better, and like they just like keep screwing it up. It's like, I don't know how to pace. Like how would you try to help someone understand pacing?
You could put them on a treadmill and have the machine guide them versus, their own selves or their heart rate monitor. I think that's the great use of a treadmill is for that purpose. Putting someone through a couple benchmark tests, and then obviously they do have to go apply the results of that benchmark in their training. But that's where something like a treadmill can be handy. And I guess heart rate is another tool that people could use.
I was thinking metrics, just like broadly. It's like, if
sure,
you can start to understand what you're saying is like understanding where you are, and then just like looking at it, and like seeing it.
Yeah. Sometimes I think it takes a little, I hate to say this, and I don't mean it in a mean way, but sometimes it takes a couple failed workouts for people to kind of really wrap their brain around it. So I'll give kind of a prescription of a target pace. And a lot of my clients, especially the beginners, they will overshoot it early. And then by the end, we've fallen way off or we can't even finish. And I think sometimes it takes that to happen once, twice, before they start to get it. Like, oh, okay, if I just hit the pace she told me to hit, I can actually finish the whole workout. If I go too hard up front, I can't finish the workout because I have overpaced myself. And I think going through that experience a few times, and we do it, and I even do it sometimes where I'm like, oh, this last one feels a little tougher because I was 5 seconds faster than I should have been on rep 1.
Right.
You know, we have that experience, but we're way more durable. Our level is higher, so it's not so drastic. We're not going to be able to, most likely we'll still finish it, and probably around, we might have been working too hard
Well, it
metrics
sucks.
wise.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
and it's not feeling great, but we can do it. Whereas like someone beginner who doesn't have that durability built or that experience built where they can push through that kind of pain yet, it takes a few, I think, failures before sometimes failing is good because it teaches you the lesson. Like, oh, I got to slow up. I got to slow down. I'm not at a 320, 800 pace because I can't finish all 8 of them. So I got to slow it down, and I think that, and it's kind of, they figure it out a little bit more on their own, or then you don't have to harp so much as a coach, which I like.
I think that's a great way to kind of put it. And and that is the best way to learn. But as we were talking, I had a thought, because a lot of times when people do have these like failed attempts at a certain pacing, I don't feel like they are being real with the reason that they failed it. Like they're like, oh, my sleep was bad, my nutrition must have been off, my hydration was probably not right, or there's like these reasons that they're reaching for. It's like, it's not because my fitness is not where it is, because I want it to be there. It's that there's like, they're looking for other reasons they can just like do a quick fix instead of just like slowing down. It's like, so if you can go and fail and be like, I screwed up the pacing, because most of the time it's going to be pacing. Yeah, your hydration might not be 100% optimal, but like, that's not like that doesn't necessarily make you fall off a cliff.
Right.
Unless it's like extremely hot or obvious. Right. So like, I think if you can take those failures and just be realistic and take the ownership on it, they're like, I just screwed it up, I'm not where I need to be. That is where that like learning can definitely happen. But I really like that idea of just go swim and see. Would you ever like overprescribe someone and just be like, we're setting you up to get murdered on this one, see how it goes?
I haven't done that on purpose.
I haven't either. but
I've had it happen a bunch, but not intentionally. You know what I mean?
It would be like that would be like a Jedi training from like a Yoda situation. It's like, yes, you thought you could do this, but I set you up. You can't. I'm proving this to you.
Yeah.
One thing I like to do, something I'm preaching to, the athletes that I work with, is actually like, let's just say, for example, we were doing 8x800 at threshold with 60 seconds rest, actually starting maybe slower than threshold, and like letting you kind of get a feel for the workout. And then, once you're in a groove, then we can start picking up the pace a little bit. But like, honestly, starting even slower than like threshold pace and then kind of easing into it that way, versus being like, okay, rep 1, we need to hit like this split right on the money. It's like, no, just use that first rep, maybe first rep or 2, and just get into a rhythm.
That's actually a great tool. It kind of answers that question that I asked of like, how can you find pacing is by running different paces, right? Like, I feel like you most likely, at least this is how it feels for me. It's like, you'll find that spot where you're like, this is probably as fast as I could go. And like, I have 4 more reps, so I'll just like stay here and like working your way to that, as opposed to like what you're saying, Ken, it's like starting at or faster. The only place you're going to go is the other direction. So you don't really know where it is. So if you can like use like cut down intervals, it could be an interesting way to help with the pacing. It's like, just running the different paces.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
I get a lot of athletes that do cut downs though, when it wasn't prescribed.
They just keep it rolling. You got to finish strong.
I'm like, nah, dog, that's not what we want to be doing. Like,
finish strong. I think a good route for beginner runners in particular once the consistency is down, is to focus on movement quality. This is something that is just not utilized in terms of like running form or just mobility for the majority, especially the person who's asking this is an adult, right? And if you're a beginner runner as an adult, you haven't had the reps to become efficient in these positions, and you probably weren't taught very well how to do it. So I think that's like low-hanging fruit that is a little frustrating because it's like skill development as opposed to just like fitness development. But like generally speaking, the movement quality of the runners for HYROX participants as a whole is like pretty poor. And I think this is like a way that you can really make up ground on competition and just like feel better, recover better, move more efficiently, and just like be
deal with less injuries.
Deal with less injuries.
Yep.
If you're just taking some time to focus on the movement quality, like I said, it's skill development, so it's not as fun, but it is. I think it's a really good way to like your future self will be thankful if you do that sooner than later.
Agreed.
But it's hard. You don't learn. No one teaches you how to run.
No.
You know, I think about that when I'm swimming because of like how much of a limiter swimming form is. And it's like, it takes a lot. And like, nobody's thinking about that with running, right? You know, like, oh, because you can just do it because you can run. Like you're in the pool, you're like, you kind of can't. And that's like it's like way scarier, but you can just kind of go out and run. It's like, I'm running. It's like, but you don't know how inefficient it is.
Right.
You know? So work on.
That said, though, there are plenty of professional runners out there with not great running form doing well.
Well,
so
not great.
I'm just saying.
Relative.
No,
like
for
who?
sure. If
like it's pretty
like
damn
Cole
good.
Hawker. Cole Hawker doesn't have great running form.
His looks a little wonky, yeah. But Yared, lovely.
He's got a good shot.
Grant Fisher, amazing.
Yeah.
Most of them are pretty good.
Most of them.
There
are outliers though.
Jakob's looks a little strange, but he's covering.
There's somebody else. I can't think right now.
Back, yeah. That's for 1500. He's basically sprinting. All right. Pros and cons of using RPE versus heart rate zones for HYROX training. And what is our personal preference between the two of them?
RPE all day.
All day.
Really? Rich too?
Not really, no.
I was like, what?
That's Ken. Ken will get a heart rate monitor and use it for a day and be like,
no, he doesn't.
In the trash.
He doesn't.
I have one.
I know you have one. It's in the trash.
I think both are a good tool to give you the full picture. And I think this is something I've learned and I've had to learn because I suck at RPE really bad. And this is, to be honest with you, if everyone was honest with themselves, besides maybe us, you're probably really bad at it too. Because I can tell you most people think something is not as hard as it really is. And when you look at your heart rate, you're like, oh, fuck, I'm way higher than I thought. Because we get really good at tolerating high intensity. That doesn't mean we're not working too hard at times though, right? Or maybe above what we intended to. And so this is where I think having both is really a good picture. If you're doing true threshold intervals, say you do 8 by 1K and you can honestly say to yourself, I could not do 2 more, then you probably were working more than an 8 RP. You were probably working harder than you thought, right? Like threshold, hour-long duration, this is what you should be able to sustain if we're talking true threshold. So if you can't say that at the end of certain workouts like that, then you work too hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's where like the RPE side comes in. And then you can kind of use your actual data from the workout to back up your understanding of RPE.
That's it right there. You nailed it.
And the difference, just real quick on that point, it's not that not being able to do another rep and not wanting to do another rep, they're different. So if you're actually not able to execute and it's like you're falling apart, yeah, it's too hard. But if you don't want to, I'm with you.
No, I agree. Like when I'm working at threshold, I don't want to do. I did mile repeats today. Could I have done 2 more if I absolutely had to? Yes. And I'm able to say that at the end, which tells me, okay, I hit it the way I was supposed to hit it. I don't want to.
You're happy it's over.
I'm super thrilled it's over.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want to
different.
do 2 more, but
Right.
if a gun was against my head, I could.
Definitely.
You know, that's kind of the point. And I think when you can have all of that information and kind of understand it about yourself, that's when you get really that's when the magic can really start happening in training. You know, because now we're able to hit things the way we should be. We're feeling the way we should be. We're not overreaching all the time, because we know what that can do if we're constantly working harder than we should. The recovery side, getting run down, getting mentally burnt out, maybe having to shift our plan. Now we're not as consistent, right? Like, there's a lot of reasons why we should be working at a specific intention a lot of the time. And there are times to push it and there are times to back off it. But when you can have that kind of overlying picture of what it all means together, I think that's when you really start to figure yourself out. Because if Rich told me an easy run, I would say 2 on an RPE scale, but that's probably not really a 2.
RPEs they're just
like, I'm not good at it. So
yours just like
I'm
yours
good at
starts at 10.
tolerating. Like, my skill and a superpower I've always had is like, I'm really good at tolerating for a very long time those high heart rates, and we get so fit that we can tolerate it and stay there for a long time. But that doesn't mean that it's right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Race days 10 out of 10. Most
I like the
training sessions shouldn't probably be 10 out of 10.
I like the idea of using a heart rate monitor, but not necessarily paying attention to it the entire time. Like, you know, maybe wearing it, going off of RPE, and then after the run or workout, kind of checking it against the data and see where you're at. And obviously there's a time and a place where, like, hey, maybe I do need to look at my heart rate monitor every couple minutes and make sure I'm staying in the appropriate zone. But every now and again, to work on your ability to use RPE would be to wear the monitor, go off RPE, and then afterwards kind of check it and see where you're at. But I mean, RPE, even though I think it is the best metric that we can use, it's still flawed because
subjective.
Like, the brain lies too.
Yep. We lie to ourselves all the time.
Like, especially in like a race where like adrenaline's high. You know, like the RPE is going to feel much lower when you've got that adrenaline going. And then when that adrenaline wears off, RPE is going to shoot through the roof. So, it's just interesting because let's say someone's heart rate is at 160, but their RPE feels like a 5. Or let's say their heart rate monitor is telling them it's at 130, but the RPE feels like an 8. What do you go off of? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no one perfect, I guess, solution or answer to this.
Yeah.
They all serve their purpose and whatnot. But I find for me that RPE is like the most reliable, like my own body telling me something and listening to the signs that it's telling me. I just find that to be the best tool to use.
And when it comes to, so this question, it seems like it's addressing training in particular. And I think it's important to have both. Like I think we're just going to say both, but using RPE, knowing RPE is going to be way more helpful for race day. As opposed to being bound by your like heart rate zones or whatever you think you should be. You can get kind of spooked on your heart rate if you look at a race.
Hell yeah, you can. Come off the ski erg and let me know what your brain does when
it's
you
like, man, this is too early for me feeling like
or
this.
after the burpee broad jumps. Don't adapt. That could be good. I don't know. I wouldn't change what I'm doing if I'm looking down at my watch and seeing my heart rate's high. Like, I'm going. I'm still going. I'm not changing I'm not slowing down to calm it down. You know what I mean? But
you got to compete. Like, you got to compete, and that's the point. And that's where RPE is like, hey, I can do this still. I'm still hanging in there, even though I'm seeing a heart rate that one might not be accurate. Two, like you never seen before, right? There could and then it's just taking it kind of in and out. So I think RPE is a better metric to be locked into in terms of like your race performance. But heart rate is really effective for training, just as what we covered, right? Like you just kind of like knowing your body, helps you know your body, helps you know where you need to be and really kind of dial things in a little bit tighter as opposed to being like, because like how I mentioned before, like we can like when you're in it, like it's hard to like pull yourself away because like if you're just doing RP all over and over, you might not know if you're creeping a little bit too hard or a little bit too slow or a little bit too comfortable in either direction. And just like like Ryan was saying, it's just not like you can lie to yourself. You don't know, right? So it's a good to kind of calibrate. So using both for sure. But RP on race day, heart rate and training is kind of definitive for me.
I agree.
All right. And this one kind of goes back to the consistency piece, but
real quick, I want to say something on heart rate. If you're using a wrist, that is not going to be accurate.
It's probably not going to be right.
So like if you are on a zone 2 run and it like the example I used earlier, like your heart rate's telling you it's at 160 and your RPE is at like a 4 or 5, go off RPE. Your heart rate monitor that you're tracking on your wrist, it's probably not accurate. Okay. You need either a chest strap or, I honestly, I find even the armband sometimes are a little more accurate than the chest strap. So if you really if you're using wrist base, understand that is not an accurate representation of your heart rate.
Especially if you're doing a mixed modality style workout where you're also changing the movements frequently, it will definitely not know what the fuck is going on. So yeah, I chest strap all day, but when I do my lactate testing, as an example, like when I did my ramp test, I know exactly what my lactate threshold heart rate range is. And so when I'm doing like a track session, it's hard, right, for us sometimes on the track to stick with, I'm usually a little fast on the track. We feel good. We feel speedy. We're on the track. We got our super shoes on. So I like to check it when I'm doing that to kind of make sure I'm staying in the range. Like, okay, I usually have a prescribed pace, but like I said, it's kind of hard to nail a prescribed pace sometimes on the track for me. So I will kind of monitor it as I'm going. It doesn't mean I slow down on that rep or I speed up necessarily. That's when I'm using RPE, but I'm just kind of using the heart rate as a gauge. Like, okay, I'm right where I want to be, or, oh, that was a little higher than I wanted to be on that last one, or maybe a little higher, a little too early in the session. So yeah, anyway, we could go on about this for days, but
go on and on. Right. So how long realistically before running paces start to drop? Yeah. So this is a little bit like we were talking about, because I think we touched on it. Surely, so let's do this like kind of quickly. And if you were just to give like, the answer is it depends, right? But if someone's like, tell me an amount of time that I should be expecting my paces to drop, like what would you tell somebody?
Probably like a minimum of like 2 to 3 months of like structured training.
My brain went to 12 weeks at least right away. And I think this is where it can be very nuanced, because feeling more comfortable working at a certain pace doesn't necessarily mean we could actually be running significantly faster. Does that make sense? Tolerability and getting faster are not necessarily the same thing. So like something might feel easier, or we might be becoming slightly more efficient lactate wise, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we could sustain a drastically faster pace for the same duration. Does that make sense?
I don't know, because how is that different? If you can just sustain it, if like it's like okay, I have 5K today, and
you're getting like your muscular development, like your tolerability to just volume or of a workout. Does that make sense?
I don't know, because it's still like if you get to if it's like a 5K and you do it in 18 minutes, like then what would you distinguish as being faster then? I guess like
you might feel better running the 5K at but still do it in like roughly the same time, but it might feel a little better.
You're just getting better at that specific
Right.
thing.
Gotcha.
You're not getting
Right.
better.
Not actually getting faster. You're not finishing faster. Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
So it's like
Kind of.
repeating a workout that you've done. You're not you might not necessarily be getting fitter. You're just getting better at executing that particular workout.
Right. Like I think there's a lot of ways to see progress without it being pace specifically.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
And so then like, the 12 weeks is kind of like where you can kind of start to expect to maybe see the paces move.
More so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that that's fair. I think that that's fair. I guess in our own training, like, what would you expect? Like I honestly don't really think about it like this anymore, but I'm not like, oh, I wish my paces were from this to this. I don't know. Do you guys think about it like that?
I mean, let's just be honest. We're all tapped out. We already know what our.
It's like, can I get back to where it once was? It's kind of where I was like, oh, well, I used to be that fast. Can I kind of get there? But it's faster than you were, I guess.
Just lose
It's kind of an interesting question.
Was that me?
Yes, it was. You're back now.
I like doing baseline testing for that reason, because I think a lot of people at a certain point will kind of reach their current ceiling. And then that's where it gets frustrating, because it's like the ceiling stops moving so much.
Right.
Or it can be kind of stagnant for a while.
Right.
And that's why I like doing, like, even for myself, like some type of baseline test where it's like, okay, maybe the time didn't change that much. Maybe my heart rate was a little bit lower, or like other metrics I can look at to see progress, even if the pace wasn't drastically different.
Yeah. This one's kind of tricky. This one is a little bit tricky.
This one is very tricky.
It really is. Because, like paces start to drop. Yeah. So, I don't know. So if you gave someone. Yeah, right. Because it's like, if you just gave someone the same exact workout every week, then it's kind of like Meg, what you're saying is like, yeah, it might feel better, but like, are you getting faster? Probably not.
Right.
I don't know why this is such a hard question right now. Maybe I'm spent. Maybe I'm toast. I don't know.
It takes a while.
Takes a while. Not 1 week.
Definitely not 2.
Not 2.
Probably not 4.
And when they start to drop, it's going to be like we talked about before. It's going to be like, if you're doing like 4 by mile, you repeat it and you're like 2 to 5 seconds faster in 12 weeks. Nice.
Yeah.
Like that's sick.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
You might, you can get faster over the course, like you just might not even notice. And however faster it is, it's not as fast as you're going to want it to be.
Also true. Also definitely true. In this example, like I had somebody say to me that I've only been working with for 5 weeks. And I texted you guys about this, and it was like, do you think I could hold this pace in my HYROX race this coming weekend? But 5 weeks ago, we couldn't hold that in an 8K time trial without the stations. Right. So in my mind, I'm like, definitely not. I've only been working with you for 4 weeks. Like, I wish that was the case, because then as a coach, I would be insanely successful. Like, everybody would always be getting better all the time.
And sauce.
Add about 30 seconds per mile, and you're right where you should be.
Right. So it's like, if we failed in 8K 5 weeks ago at this target pace, it's probably not only 5 weeks later going to be our pace we can hold in a HYROX. So like, just understanding that, and this is where I was kind of going with, like, but they're running this pace in intervals and it feels way better than it did 4 weeks ago. Doesn't mean we're actually any faster. Like, we might just be getting used to running this pace. Does that make
and like
sense?
The next pace, yes. Now I'm getting. Now it's like, if you run a little bit faster, you will probably blow up.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure. So like faster and like durable, or just like being able to tolerate. I got you.
Right.
All right. Last one that we're going to finish up with. I'm going to reframe the question here to not gaslight, but what advice would you give virtual personal trainers?
Oh, you're changing the question.
I'm changing the question. It's not gaslight.
What was the question?
What advice would you give an online personal trainer trying to get into like the market here?
Don't just use your money.
What do you mean?
To be a, you know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Little HWPO.
Don't try it. That's different. Yeah. If you are someone that it does not have a ton of money, if you're just like getting into the grind of being an online trainer, like what would you tell someone?
That it's work, honestly. Like it's hard work. You know, a lot of the times we're more than just coaches for people. You know, sure we're programming, you know, workouts and whatnot, but you know, we're also trying to be like a mentor to them and, you know, help them through whatever, you know, personal things they may be dealing with like in their own lives. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. And it's hard at times, especially if you have many athletes that you work with, but at the end of the day, it's a job. And I think some people may see it and they're like, oh, I want to do this. Like that looks like so much fun. You just work out and you know, program workouts for people, but there's just so much more to it than that. And
social media is very deceiving with this in particular, because I personally think that a lot of people that people think are very successful in their coaching are not as successful as they think. They're just really good at marketing.
There's a difference between being a good content creator and being a good coach.
Yes. And there's a lot of really big accounts of influencers we see in not just in our space, but in general.
Can we call some people out?
Let's not.
No. Okay. All right. Mouth is closed.
Who are really just, they've figured out how to market well, but they have very little knowledge. And so like practical experience, get as much real life practical experience as you can. If you really want to be good at what you do, you should also be constantly learning. Just because you got that piece of paper and you studied for that test doesn't mean there's constantly new ideas, new science, new training methods that might work better than what you've already learned. You should always be willing to learn more and to change your thought process and change the principles that you maybe once had, because things change. You know, we get new science. There's new studies out there that show, oh, what we used to think is not necessarily true. There's like that study that just came out about how much carbs we can use per hour. We were like way off of, we can use way more if you train your body than what they originally thought. Like if you get stuck in one idea, then you're probably not going to be doing the best for your clients.
I love that one. Yeah. Like be a good coach.
Like just be good at what you do.
Be a good coach, want to be a good coach, get into it for the coaching, not for the social media, not for the creating content, not so that you can become a pro athlete or whatever, or go full-time athlete. Like that's not what this is.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is a job. You are a coach. You should want to be a coach, not like, oh, I don't have anything else going on. Maybe this is what I'll do. Or I know how to get fit. I'll be a coach. Like that's not the same thing. No, it's not. Also, someone who looks really fit doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. So yeah, know what you're doing. You can look fit and be ripped and have a great sales piece because of your look, but that does not necessarily mean that you are really well educated and you can help every person out there. Like I said, I think the best coaches in our world and in other worlds that I've had the privilege of meeting, whether it be through HYROX, through Benny, through someone, usually are not the best marketers. For sure. Or they're usually not the pro athlete who's amazing at that thing. Right. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Not saying that we don't know what we're doing, but not us. Because I'm like, wait, we're really good at what we do. Not us.
We're not showing up on ads, I don't think, on Instagram.
We could.
Yeah.
We
I think
could.
for the consumer, there are some things to look out for, some red flags. And again, I think the people that have to shout the loudest to get your attention, and y'all saw it in my story, the people putting comment plan in the comments, and I'll DM you a 2-week free platform, blah, blah, blah. Probably not amazing is just my thought process there. I think the people who have to oversell constantly, that's my thought process. The people that I know that are amazing at what they do are putting a lot of really great free information out there. They're not asking you to comment something so they can send you the link. It's like it just happens because they are putting out the good information and the good examples, and then that's how they sell. It's like it's not hard selling. Does that make sense?
For sure. Yeah, like if that effort, like I guess this is what I would like I'm just going to echo kind of the same thing you said. The effort that you're putting in to be a content creator, to be a marketer, to be a salesperson, like it needs to be flipped. You need to become really, really good at whatever it is and that you're doing. And like we're in a fortunate position because we do perform well, so we get a lot of visibility that way. So we don't necessarily have to do all of this other stuff, but as hard, like we do some of it for sure. But if you are going to be a person just going to put all your focus on marketing and content and not being better as a coach or trainer or being like exceptional at something, then it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
You're always going to be chasing something. You're going to be wondering why you can't hold on to athletes who come in, or you're just going to be always chasing that next thing. Is because you're not actually that good. Right.
Yep.
So like making sure like whatever resources you have to become actually awesome. And if right now you're like, oh, I'm not awesome. It's like, figure out how to be awesome. Like, it's not like no one's born with this information, right? Like you have to go out and figure out how to be exceptional at it. And that's the first step. And if you're like, I can't, then you can't, then like, you're not going to. So that's the main thing I would say. Get on your hustle, get awesome at it.
Yeah, and you'll get better with it as you go. You'll probably, realize, oh, like I'm not great in this one particular area. Like I can do better here. Like I know for me, I've been a coach for a long time now, like dating back to even before like OCR, and I don't know, like every year I still feel like I'm getting better than I was the year before as a coach. 100%. So, and I guess all we can hope for is that the community can see through that kind of bullshit marketing, and I think the real ones know where to go. They'll
figure it out too. If you go do the marketing and it ropes you in, marketing works, sales works. But if they don't deliver like a great product, right? Like that's why there will be turnover. That's why that will happen. But stay on your hustle. Don't copy people's stuff verbatim, and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, don't do that.
That happens too.
And then say my name wrong when you do it.
All right, squad. Thanks for hanging with us today. Thanks for the questions. Those are awesome questions. Again, if you're on the app, we'll take care of those questions because there was just like an abundance that we're going to take up too many. So thank you all so much. Super fun. Anything else we need to plug?
HYROX season is upon us. Let's go, guys.
We're out
all
here.
Vibes. All ready. Vibes. Football vibes. Let's go.
Football. Birds are 1-0, baby. Undefeated season on the table. All right. We'll talk to you soon.